2014, and we're live for another live daily webcast called Jenn Cast. I'm your host, Jennifer Donogh. So excited for today's live webcast because it's another Try It Tuesday, and they're my favorites. Try It Tuesday, we try something out with you watching live, and take your opinions. Comment below if you're watching this later. Comment in the chat. Check in using the hashtag Jenn Cast. And this is 15 minutes. We're just going to review things. Before we get started, I wanted to tell you a little bit about Daily Jenn Cast. It's a live webcast, like I said, that goes live every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern here on yfelive.com. Today we are also streaming on YouTube at youtube.com/YF Entrepreneur. You guys can subscribe there to find out more about the videos that we do here. Along with Jenn Cast, YFE also puts out a live webcast called YFE Chat that happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. We're doing that again this Thursday. This week for Jenn Cast, we have amazing guests. We have Brittany Castro, who last year we named as one of our Winning Wednesday YFEs. Well, she's going to be on tomorrow, Wednesday, and she's going to be talking about how to be winning in 2014. She's got a Financially Wise Women class coming up, so she's going to talk a little bit about that too. Then we have we have Stacy and Vicky from the Bootstrap Book Club. They're going to be kicking off our Jab, 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 Right Hook. Very big, fun event discussion that kicks off on Friday, but Thursday they're going to be talking about it. And then Friday, we have Alexis from Miss Trenchcoat. That's a YouTube channel. She's huge. She's got a great following, very engaged, and she's going to be talking to us about gadgets and all sorts of fun stuff, and we'll include links to all of those future guests below this video. So the last thing I want to say with YFE is that we've got some cool stuff going on as far as the daily action calendar at dailyactioncalendar.com. You can find out more about that and get involved. Today's action was kind of lame. It was very self-promotional. It was to show up here for Jenn Cast and get into a nice little burst of networking, and hopefully you guys are in the chat and making use of all of the networking opportunities that we have available. So with that being said, I should say the reason why we do these live webcasts is to encourage young female entrepreneurs to talk to one another. Peer-to-peer mentorship is what YFE is all about. And so definitely connect with people in the chat if you're watching live and use that hashtag JenCast. So today's topic, like we were saying at the beginning, is Try It Tuesday. And today's Try It is all around the new year being... Oh, this thing keeps going off. All right, so we'll have to fix that screen. Going into screensaver. So anyway, the new year 2014 started, and a lot of you are putting together these resolutions. And actually, our theme for young female entrepreneurs for the month of January is resolve, and that's to make a firm decision on something and start taking action on it. So a lot of you have created resolutions, whether you call them resolutions or not. They might be goals, they might be themes, whatever it is. And so we're going to be doing some pieces as far as trying to figure out how we can track specific habits or actions that we're taking that leads us into actually accomplishing our goals or accomplishing our resolutions. Because usually New Year's resolutions, right, they're very broad. There's something big. And so we're going to be talking about some apps and actually showing off some fun stuff. So with that being said, one of the things that I was trying to figure out, I was on Facebook last night and asked all of you, what's the deal with, there's this quote, I was like, it's something about tracking and measuring. And so the idea here, what we're basing all of this episode around is that where energy flows, results grow, or what you focus on expands. And I want to thank Seema K. I don't want to mispronounce your name, but she's at smartcrazybeautiful.com. She actually is the one that said this is what the quote is. It was really nice of her to go ahead and comment, because I know that's going out of your way. So thank you so much, because it's true. Where energy flows, results grow. And the first person I heard say something about that was Allie Brown. I don't know if you guys follow her, but I went to like one of her conferences or something like that, and that was one of the things that she mentioned, what you track improves, or whatever it was. So anyway, that's the whole idea, is that, let's make sure that we're tracking our goals, and how do we best do that. And so your goals, we're going to talk about some broad stuff and some more simple. A lot of you are doing the whole weight loss goal thing, which is cool. And then we've got people who are doing committing to be more mindful. And so we'll talk about some of those things today and some of those apps. And definitely comment and let me know what it is that your resolution is. My personal resolution, and then we've got money. We're going to talk about money, a money app in just a second. My resolution, get started. I put all these fun photos together and I was really excited to get started with them. But anyway, and we'll mention the SoshiDot app shortly. So anyway, my personal resolution is to waste less, to still produce more, but waste less time, waste less as far as like things in my home goes. I've been trying to do that over the last couple years. Like, we don't use plastic bags anymore, like those little bags for sandwiches. Drives my husband crazy. He loves them. We don't use paper towels and all sorts of interesting things. But so I'm really trying to expand on that in 2014. Let me know what you guys are doing for 2014. So getting started, let's go ahead and go over one of the first apps that I wanted to talk about, which is the SoshiDot. And this is one that we actually talked about on Jenn Cast. We had the founder on, and she came on, and this is one of those going into a big milestone type of a piece. And the whole concept is around the Steve Jobs idea that you look back at the past and you're able to connect the dots and see how you were able to accomplish something. And so SoshiDot, it's a free app. That's what it allows you to do, is connect the dots essentially. And so what it really does well is the idea that you're able to go to someone who's already looked back and connected the dots on how they're able to do it. You purchase their plan, which I believe is anywhere from like 99 cents to $2.99, and she was saying that they're still working on their pricing because this is a brand new app, but it's fantastic for being brand new. But anyway, you're able to go in, and I'll definitely link to the episode to give you more information on this, but you can go after their life plan or their dots and follow that to accomplish your goal. And it tracks like daily habits and small actions, big actions, everything in between. And then you can also create your own plan too, which is free in that way. So I would definitely check it out. I'd also check it out on the flip side as far as that goes if you're a health coach or you are any type of coach or author, because she's saying that they're always taking new experts. And I thought it was an awesome idea as far as what you can do with your clients with it. You can bring them through it. So the next thing I wanted to talk about, a couple things actually, before I go into the apps, because I'm going to use the overhead camera, is the Stay Focused application. So this is, again, it's not necessarily tracking, but at the same time it is. So we're tracking our time, and we're tracking how we spend our time when we're in front of our actual computer. And so I was looking for an app that blocks things like Facebook for a specific amount of time. And so this is the one that I really liked. I've tried it out, and it's pretty fun. I like it because it's an extension to Chrome. A lot of you use the Chrome browser. I believe there's also an extension for Firefox too. But I wanted one that was on my browser versus on my computer, because I just don't want to have to deal with operating systems and all sorts of interesting things when that comes into play. But anyway, this I feel like will really boost your productivity. It's free. They encourage you to give a $10 donation. It's called Stay Focused, if I didn't mention that for those that are listening to the audio. You're able to block all websites, a specific part of a website, and you're able to do how long. You can do all sorts of websites, or you can just do a specific blacklist. So I went ahead and chose, and this is another cool thing. You can also do like a required challenge, which I thought was interesting. So I went ahead and I chose Funny or Die from their list. You can do your own, but they also provide you with a list of examples to choose from. And so it said, it's going to block this for an hour. So then, of course, I went on. And I love this. Commencing nuclear option. May God have mercy on your soul. I love it when companies that create cool apps do like cute wording that make it a little bit more branded. We talked about Dream It Alive a while ago, and they were missing that. They had a lot of opportunity to do that, so hopefully they'll focus on that a little bit more. But anyway, so I went on to Funny or Die, and this is what happened. I thought it was awesome. So smart, and just a nice way, like, yes, at Tiff Silverberg, yes, more productivity, yes. Exactly. So the next two that I wanted to mention before I get into the apps is Trello. If you guys aren't using Trello yet, you need to be. It's amazing. I know a lot of you have your different different applications that you use for project management. But I love Trello because it's simple. They give you I can't remember if I put anything else in here. No, I went straight to Google Drive. They give you a blank canvas basically, and you add boxes onto it. I'll have to do another try it show specifically on Trello because it's not exactly tracking. It's more of you can use it for tracking or customize it in your way. And that's why I find myself being a little bit more old school in that I prefer something that I can use in a variety of ways versus one specific method as far as like an app goes that tracks what we're going to talk about shortly. And so Trello, you can actually email things to yourself. Like, for example, if you drink water, you can just quickly email saying something like goal. And so you can keep track of it that way on your boards. It's very customizable. It's free. And it can sync from your iPhone, your iPad to your computer and everything. It's fantastic. So the other piece that I wanted to say before going into the apps was Google Drive. And whether you're using iCloud, Google Drive, whatever it is, the idea again is that it's syncing from your iPhone to your computer to your iPad and everything in between, and it's using a spreadsheet. And I think spreadsheets are not utilized enough today because we're relying on things like apps that are very specialized. But spreadsheets, it's so easy to customize it to exactly what you want. And the idea here, let me see if I can pull up the Google piece, because it's just on the phone too now. It looks really, really good. I was impressed with especially Google Drive. I still have to check out iCloud, but Google Drive's spreadsheets I thought looked really, really good. Let's try out the overhead cam, shall we? Let's see if you guys can see that the light is pretty blinding. You can see our big light overhead. So it just looks really good, right? So you can go in, there's even fonts, and you can update it as far as like what the looks look like. You can do background color even. So Google Drive, if you're just wanting to track things like, what was I talking about? If you're wanting to track things like your Twitter followers, YouTube, like really specific things, I say just, go with a simple spreadsheet. I think that's something that's underutilized today. So let's go into a couple of apps before we finish up. And the first app that I wanted to talk about is one that I had to pay for. We'll go with that one first, since we're just getting close to time. So it's called Strides, and it's featured on iTunes. So you can do it. You go into the iTunes store, and you'll see it Strides featured under the category productivity. There's a few of them that track habits. I picked this one because it had a higher rating. And also because it just looked a little bit more simple. I think it was something like $2.99. And it's funny because a lot of people, I've read a number of articles that say people expect to have to get apps for free, but no app is free anymore. There's always in-app purchases and things like that. And I was surprised by the number of apps that are paid for, that are $2.99 plus for something that's super simple. So anyway, this app is called Strides, and it allows you to do just like what we were talking about. It allows you to measure your habits, measure your goals. And so in here, let's see if you guys can see that. Sorry. We'll work on this. So for example, I went in, first of all, when you open it up, this was an issue for me. It just said dashboard and this little plus sign. Well, I don't know what that meant. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. And so when you hit the plus sign, it asks you to create a goal. I think it was something like that. So we'll go ahead and push what do you want to track? And it gives you ideas here too. So I went ahead and tracked and this is another thing, like these plus, you have to go back. It's just not very intuitive. So anyway, the drink water piece, I went ahead and said, yes, I need to drink more water. My goal is 3 glasses a day, or 3 big water bottle things a day. And so you're able to essentially track the percentage, and it's very visual. And there's a couple apps that if you don't like this one, you can get a different look and feel. The other app that was in there was interesting because it wasn't by an English-based speaking person or company. So a lot of the complaints were that the English, it just didn't make sense. It wasn't translated correctly, and it wasn't user-friendly or intuitive. So I know, I should have used an iPad for this. You're right, Terry J. Moore. Well, you know what? We'll fix this because I don't know what was going on with the lighting and how I positioned it too. So the next one that I wanted to do is FreshBooks. If you guys aren't on FreshBooks yet, I highly recommend it. And this is a free app, but of course it's a paid for service with FreshBooks. And what you're gonna do here is this is for time tracking. So if your goal is to make more money in the new year and to be more mindful of what your time spent is and what you should be billing people, I highly recommend this type of a thing. But again, it comes down to using the tools that you have. You don't have to spend money and have a subscription service like this. You could just use your alarm clock and do a timer and take notes on what you do. But I like FreshBooks because it's an all-in-one service and it's really easy to get money from people after you bill them. So anyway, you can do time tracking on this, and I really like this as far as just it's easy to use, really big buttons. It's nice. So you can just push play, and then it'll go through a timer and you can actually time out what it is that you're doing. You can take notes, you can even assign it to a project or task, and then turn around and bill people for it. So I highly recommend, if your goal is to really track or hone in on what it is that you are charging people, check out FreshBooks. And then finally, just a couple other ones I wanted to bring up before we close. A couple other ones is the Cody app. And this is one that I believe I found out about from For the Glow, and it looked really different the last time I checked it out. So they've made a lot of improvements, and you're able to track what it is that what you do for workouts and keep an eye on that. One of the other things that really set this app apart was that it was focused on community aspect, where you can actually purchase plans from a trainer and watch videos, which is something that like Runkeeper, those other apps don't necessarily have or don't focus on. And then finally, if gratitude is your thing, I would definitely check out the Gratitude app. We've had the founder on, Carla Young, before, and this is the only thing I can't totally recommend it because it's not for the newest iOS, which is a total bummer. So you can see it's just like super blocky and it's not exactly pretty, but you can track how many times you are grateful. How many times you put entries in, essentially, and it'll show you in the calendar. It says here that I've only done 15 days of gratitude, which is really sad, but it's a really nice app. I just wish they would update their system, so hopefully they'll get to that soon. So anyway, ooh, that was a loud clap. This has been the Daily Live Webcast. Hopefully I gave you some ideas as far as productivity apps goes and what it is that you could be doing. This has been Jennifer Donogh with the Daily Live Webcast, Jenn Cast, that you can watch every Monday through Friday at yfelive.com at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much for showing up live. Make sure that you sign up for our mailing list at yfe.me/mailed it, because that's the best way to stay in touch with me, Jen. Hopefully I'll see you back here tomorrow with our guest, Brittany Castro. Have a fantastic day, guys.